working here? All right, so let me share my screen. Have you all watched, has anyone watched any of the recordings?
Yeah, it's already announced that recording is in progress.
So everything is okay when you watch them?
Has started screen sharing. Oh,
I'm sorry?
perfect.
Oh,
Yes, everything is
on.
great.
can you all hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
I just got a notice saying that something was wrong with my audio, but it looks like everything's fine. So I don't know what that was about. Okay.
Highlight.
Sometimes I don't understand technology sometimes. All right. So today, this is lesson 5 for us already. And today we are going to plan an outing for a friend or with a friend who will be visiting us. And we will also plan an itinerary for a family trip. I'll give more information about those in just a second. And then at the end of class, we will discuss how to express an opinion. Okay, and that is based off of the homework that we did. All right, welcome Svetlana, how are you today?
Hello, everything's good.
Did you have a
Thank
good
you. Yes.
Good, I'm glad. All right, so in looking at these pictures here, what can you say about these pictures? What images come to mind when you see these pictures?
Vacation,
Hot weather.
holiday.
Holiday,
it is
yeah.
all about traveling.
It's all about travel, exactly.
Yes.
History, maybe.
History, yes.
Except cafe.
A cafe or a restaurant. This is in a cafe picture that I pulled, but it could be also just a restaurant, trying new foods. And especially if it's in a culture that's different from yours, that's something that I enjoy doing is eating some of the local cuisine in an area. Okay, what else?
Some kind of museum and also ancient construction.
Right, so this would be called a ruin is
Ruin.
the name of that. I'll type that into the chat. Ruin or ruins, because it's usually more than one.
Mhm.
And we can also say ancient ruins.
It's like destroy, ruin.
I was going to say, sometimes ruins can be, they don't necessarily have to be ancient. Unfortunately, we have ruins that happen because of war that is going on as well. And you all are experiencing that also, but even in, more recent places, when I was traveling around Eastern Europe, there were a lot of areas that had ruins from the war, the Serbian war. And I was in Bosnia and saw several ruins from there. So they don't have to be ancient. They can be more recent than that. But one of the things I like to do whenever I travel is to go to the ancient ruins and visit and see and learn about history and things as well. All right, and did anyone mention this picture here? What comes to mind when you see that picture?
It's map. First
Map.
picture.
Which picture?
Beach, yeah. This one here. Oh, sorry.
We
No,
should
no, I'm asking which
something common.
I'm asking what picture do you mean?
I'm sorry. I'm talking about this one here, the beach picture. I was trying to click on it and it doesn't work when I do that. So when I think of this, I think of being peaceful and calm and relaxed and just kind of forgetting about all of the worries that we have in our life and things as well. All right, and then we have this one up here in the corner.
It's map, maybe somebody's try to find hotel for vacation.
Right. And that goes
I do
along.
the same every time.
Yes. And this one here is more about, so both of these kind of go together dealing with directions. Do you go north? Do you go south? Or directions can also be left and right as well. So it depends on, people are different in how they like to talk about directions. And sometimes it's better to say, something is north of a city, or we're going south in the country or something like that. But if you're talking about within a city, it's usually easier to say, take a left at the 3rd Street or something like that, right? How do you do directions? Marina, are you a north-south or a left-right kind of person with directions?
For me, it's better left and right because sometimes it's hard to make orientation where you know and where is the north.
Yes, I understand. Margot, how about you?
Yes, I agree because about right and left, because I don't understand when people told me go to the north and I went north, and how to. I know that you can describe it on when you have this green thing on the tree, like mold, and then I don't know, but where I can find it in big city. So I don't understand actually when they.
And trying to figure out where's the positioning of the sun, is it?
Yes.
I did that once when I was at the beach. A friend and I were trying to walk to the actual beach part, and we were and it was really early in the morning. We had just come off an overnight bus, and we were trying to figure out how to get there. And I was like, well, the sun rises in the east, so we need to go towards the sun. And that was basically the way that we got to the beach that time. But it's not as common to be able to do that. And if the sun is directly overhead, then you don't know if you're going north, south, east, or west because it's directly above you as well. Yep. Elena, how about you? Are you a north, south, or a left, right person?
I'm a left-right person, but at our landscape design studio, we always use north-south. For example, a terrace facing south and front yard facing north, and then we decide which type of plants should we plant.
That makes sense. Yeah. And definitely with different types of jobs, those directions can come into handy as well, for sure. All right, Valeria, how about you?
Actually, it depends on situation. It depends on country. So if I, for example, in UK, yes, it's right, left, it's okay. But if I will be, for example, in USA, there are a lot of people understand where is east, where is west, and they all the time use these directions. So of course, yes, it depends on country and depends on people and depends on situation. So I try to be in this situation, in this country, and be part of this.
Makes a lot of sense too. Yes, good. And Svetlana?
I'm totally left-right person. I hand navigators, road navigators, which use north, east. I don't know where I understand left and right. Simple.
Right, I understand. Okay. And welcome, Katya. How are you today?
Hello. I'm a little bit sleepy because it was raining all during the whole day, and that's why I'm just wake up.
Yes, I understand. I love to take a nap whenever it's raining outside, for sure. It's a perfect time to do that. So we're just talking about directions, whether or not you are a person who is better at left, right, or north, south, east, west kind of directions when you're moving around a city or a country or something.
I'm a person who goes straight forward.
I like that too. Just stay on the straight path. Don't venture off either way. Okay, perfect. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to plan an outing for a friend who is visiting. And in the outing, we're going to include some transportation vocabulary and directions as well. You don't have to have directions for everything, but you could add them in a couple of spots. I'm going to show you one that I did for a friend of mine that was visiting me when I lived in Morocco. I also included prices just to give her an idea of how much it might cost, so you can ignore that. But I didn't include any of the directions in here, but I could easily go back and add those in. I was picking her up from the airport, so I could say, something like leave the airport and go south to catch the bus, or when you leave the airport, you need to go to the right, or something like that. So those kinds of things. Again, you don't have to add all of them in, and you don't have to be extreme, like, I want you to be detailed, but not like, again, you don't have to put the prices or anything like that. Okay, just make it a fun outing. Your friend is visiting you in your city, and so you want to show her, just for one day, some of the sites in the city. And that can include where you might have lunch or breakfast or something like that as well. Okay. Any questions? We good? Okay, so let's take about 10 minutes to come up with your itinerary, and then we'll share with everyone. Okay.
Do we need to describe the real thing to visit? Because for me, I mean that even for me, it's quite complicated to imagine something and like to build this itinerary.
So yeah, it's more of, I'll show my screen again. Give me just a second.
So I need my maybe map in order to look at this and to build this.
Yeah, you could pull up your map, pull up a map of the city, or just think about, like, this was a cafe that I wanted to go to visit. This was taking a taxi. I was looking, so here, like, we went for a walk. We went to the souk, which is like where the place that we shop for food, and then went for a walk, and then we were lazy the rest of the day, kind of thing. We also looked at doing a camel trek into the desert. So, just thinking about what sites do you have a museum that is near you that you would want to take your friend to, or is there a park that is beautiful that you would like to go and walk around, or something like that? Does that help?
Not precisely.
That's okay. Just jot down some ideas of some things that you would like to show your friend who is visiting, who's never been to your city. And then maybe how you would get there. By a car, or are you going to take a taxi or a bus or something?
How many time do we have?
This is just one day.
I mean, for this task, 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah, just a couple of minutes. Yeah.
Thanks.
This is a little difficult to see, but here are some words that you could potentially use as you're looking at directions. It's a little small. I'm trying to figure out if I can make it bigger. No. Oh. I didn't mean for that. I will also send this link to this document about directions to everyone in the Telegram group after class, okay? Hello. Hi, Kalinka. I can't hear you. Hello.
Hello,
Hi, Kalinka. How are you?
I'm fine. Today I'm with my friend.
Hello.
She is also Ukrainian refugee.
Okay, excellent. Welcome.
Thank you.
We are just finishing up a task that everyone is working on, where we're planning an outing for a friend who is visiting you. You may could even say what you're doing with your friend today. If you're going to eat dinner somewhere or visit somewhere, if you want, you can jot down some notes really quickly. I think everyone is getting close to being finished. Okay, I know that Katya is finished. Is anyone else getting close?
Ali, I can find on Telegram file with you.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was just getting ready to do that when Kalinka came in. So just sorry, one moment.
Thank you.
I haven't logged into Telegram on the website either, so I need to do that. So give me just 1 second to get logged in. Okay, You should have it now.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Margot, how are you doing?
I need like 2 minutes.
Okay, that's fine.
Maybe
Let's
less.
take maybe another 2 minutes.
Can I
Mhm.
start? Because my son gave me a call and asked me to take him from the tube station.
Absolutely, you can go ahead and start, and everyone else can finish up on theirs. Yes.
Yes, and then I will come back, I believe.
Okay, perfect.
So I've decided to actually to describe the real place I live in here in London, not
Okay.
in my native town.
Mhm.
And let's imagine that there is another Ukrainian refugee who is going to come to London, and
Okay.
this person will arrive to St. Pancras station, which is
Mhm.
the international station from Paris to London.
Mhm.
So this is my letter to my friend. So when you arrive to St. Pancras, you need to go to the tube and catch the train to Blackfriars Station. I will send you a screen from City Mapper, which one you need. Then you need to change the platform and catch the train calling at Denmark Hill. I will send you the route as well. From this station, it will take you 5 minutes or even less to get to my house. But I'll meet you when you arrive, so don't worry about this. We will have a lunch in 45 minutes after your arrival at home. Then I will take you to the lovely park in Dulwich Village, which is not far from my house. We can get there by bus. The bus station is 2 minutes walk from the house, and you can pay by card to use it. Then it's up to you. Either we go for a walk around the park or visit gallery, which is across the road. There is a lovely cafe in the middle of the area of the park. I highly recommend you to try their croissant. It's the biggest croissant I've ever eaten. You'll certainly like it.
Love it. That sounds like a great day. Perfect. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
And just, yeah, just join us back whenever you can. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
See
Thank
you.
you. Bye-bye. Okay, Valeria, are you ready?
Yeah. Imagine for my Ukrainian friend, where I live here in UK. Well, first of all, I want to tell you that whole big London is divided into counties.
Uh-oh, your internet cut out there. Sorry, let's see. Let's move on and we'll
You have to me by 2 ways.
Sorry, Valeria, your internet I think
yeah.
you froze, so we didn't hear anything there for a second. Can you start over?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you travel by plane, you can come to me by 2 ways. You hear me?
Okay, hold on. I
No?
think why don't
Not really.
yeah, why don't we wait on yours for when you have a better connection? Okay, Margot, I'm gonna have you do it.
Okay. 7 a.m. arrival in Kiev. taxi from the airport to my apartment, breakfast from me, and talk about life over a cup of coffee.
Nice.
Metro to Crescent, walk in the center, visit to Sophia's Cathedral. After that, a walk along the glass bridge and along Andreevsky descent. After that, lunch in a cafe and metro to Obolon. Walk along the embankment and to the Natalka Park, and dinner at the waterfront restaurant.
Nice. That sounds like a great day as well. Yes. Good.
You're my neighborhood in Kiev.
I'm
Maybe.
too from Abalon.
Because I
Maybe
live near
Park
Natalka Park
Natalka,
too, near Nat. Yes. What
Wonderful.
what street? On what street?
Abalon.
Иорданская.
Alexandra Archipenko.
Реакторная.
Иорданская.
Very nice.
Awesome. All right. Valeria, it seems like you have better internet connection now. So
I hope so. So I continue. If you travel by plane, you can come to me by two ways. To begin with a taxi, or in addition, from Gatwick Airport, you should get a train to London Bridge, and it will be from platform number 4, and then you should change the train to Elton Station.
okay.
Then you will be on station when you will be on station. Please go out and walk 2 minutes to Eltham Station, to bus station, to Eltham bus station. Then wait for 3 minutes and choose the bus number 132. Write 11 stops, and you need a Queenwood bus station. And after walk only 1 minute, and you will be in my home.
Perfect. I like it. That's good. All right.
It's too long.
No, it's good. It's good. And you were very specific on the directions and everything that they needed to do, which bus numbers and metro numbers and tube numbers and things as well, which is perfect. So, all right. Thank you. Marina.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, but it's because you should.
Sorry, Valeria, your connection is cut out again. Okay, Marina.
Yes. I hope my connection will be better.
Good so far, yes, it's fine.
Yeah. Let's imagine that it's already 2 or I don't know how long time, but some time already spent, and I'd like to invite you to my hometown Kharkiv on the east of Ukraine to visit me with my family and to have some fun. And you can for example, from Kiev, it's the most convenient way to get Kharkiv, but train, it's an intercity train. And after that, when you leave the main entrance of station, you would see 2 entrance to the metro, and you can choose one of them, doesn't matter which, and you need to take first wagon of the train, and right after two stops you will be on the main square of the city. It's the biggest square in Europe, and I'll show you the big national university situated on this square. And after that, we could go along the Sumskaya Street and have lunch in the beautiful restaurant, like Italian editorial, like it.
Like Italian cuisine, or just Italian?
Yeah, Italian cuisine, but it names like Italian edition.
Okay.
After that, we can go along the street, the main street of the city, and stay for coffee around other big square of the city. It's Radyanska Square.
Perfect. Sounds like a great outing. All right.
Yes,
thank you.
Today is it is just dream, but
Yeah.
I believe that it will be
someday. Right. Yes, someday. All right. Thank you. Okay, Svetlana.
Okay. Hi, friend. You arrive at 7 o'clock by train, and I'll pick up you from the railway station. Welcome to the merry weekend in Kiev. At 7:30, first of all, you have seen main tourist places without tourists at the city center. Maidan Nезалежності, St. Sophia Cathedral, Glass Bridge, and etc. At 8:20, we will have early breakfast in Old Cafe on Zhelenska Street, which is located not far from the stadium. After we move along Prospect Peremogi until we reach our next destination, and we will move past circles and on the right side. At midday, I would present you my favorite relaxed place, Kiev Zoo. Between city center and our main destination, we will have a lunch, and we go to the next main destination of our weekend, Street Food Festival. The festival site is located in 5 kilometers, but it will be better if we left car in parking and catch taxi, and in 10 minutes we will arrive and have a great evening.
Excellent. Sounds like a great day as well. Just one thing at the very beginning, when you said, I will pick up you, I will pick you up at the train station or the bus station.
Pick you up, yes, thank you.
All right, excellent. Does anyone have any questions for anyone about their itineraries that they planned? Okay.
I have question to you, Ali. Do we make a lot of mistakes?
No, you did not. There's a couple of little ones.
You don't correct us, and
I know. Sometimes I get really involved in the story of what you all are saying, and not so much how you're saying it. But there were just some little things, honestly. Leaving out like a the or an and, so leaving out the articles. That's something that's very common in learning another language. I do the exact same thing in Spanish as well. I forget to include articles in the language. So other than that, no, I think you did a great job. What I was going to say as well, if you would like to send me your written version of what you said, then I can look at it and I can add in some of those, you know, the A's, the ands, the does, and those kinds of things for you. So if you would like to do that, I'll be glad to help out with that as well. And I also, I'll try, I'm not positive that I can before Monday, but I will try to review the video as well and make more notes along the way. And that's something I need to remember to do for myself, is to have a piece of paper sitting next to me to jot down some of those things. And I promise to do that in the future for you all. Okay. I do have a notepad sitting here, so I'm going to start using that and make sure I get to a blank page right now so I can start because that obviously will help you all much more. I realize that. But in general, I think you all are doing a great job, and it is just some of the little things, but you're able to communicate. And to me, that's the most important thing, is that you can communicate. You can make yourself clear in what you're saying, and for people to understand what you're talking about. Okay. So we'll start refining some of the little things now. Okay. All right, perfect. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do along the same kind of line is to plan a trip that you want to take. And this can be you by yourself, so a solo trip. It could be a trip with your family, or it could be a girls' trip, maybe a girls' weekend or something. So choose what you would like to do, and it will be outside of the city that you are in. This is going to be somewhere else. It can still be in the same country, but to another city, or it could be into another country as well. Okay. We won't have to worry about as many of the directions with this, but we do want to include some of the transportation vocabulary here in talking about, you know, taking a plane. I need to have my passport, or, you know, all of those kinds of things as well. What time you would check in, just make it all up. You know, we'll check in at the airport at 8 o'clock, and we have to make sure we have our passport, those kinds of things. Okay. Questions? Everyone good with it?
Should it be only plane, or I can, for example,
No, it could be, it could be a bus or a car.
Experience.
Yeah, whatever. It could be a train, a bus, a plane, a car, or whatever. Yes, it doesn't have to. I was just using that as an example, but yes, thank you for asking that. Okay, so we'll take just a couple of minutes to do this one. What we may do instead of sharing this one is I may have you send this one to me, and I can review it over the weekend, and then we can share on Monday. Or we could do this as homework. Would you all like to do this as homework for the weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Homework.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's do it as homework.
Okay. Let's do this one as homework then. So you plan a trip, and let's say you can make the trip as short or as long as you want it to be. All right. You can do, I would say, at least 2 days for the trip. So it could be a weekend, or it can be a week, or it could be a month if you want, but that's a lot. But you can make the trip the length that you want it to be. And yeah, we'll do this as homework, and that'll be the first thing that we do on Monday when we start class. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Because I didn't plan any real homework for you all, so I think this works great for that. All right, so let's look at the homework that we did for today. I actually want to look at some vocabulary words that we would use in how to give an opinion. So we're switching gears now. We're going to start looking at something different and thinking about how we would give an opinion on something. And these are some common phrases here that we could use. Marina, will you read these, the ones that are here in the italics of the types of phrases we could use when giving an opinion?
Allowed?
So just read these here that I highlighted. Mm-hmm.
I think, I believe, I feel, in my opinion, and I would say.
Mm-hmm. The and really doesn't belong there. It's just using that as there's one more. So an example of a sentence would be like, in my opinion, Bangkok has the best street food. So that's your personal opinion, it's the way you feel about
In
it.
my humble opinion.
In my humble opinion, yes, it's another great one. We can also add strength to the things. Instead of just saying, I think, we could say, I really think, or I strongly believe. Margot, I'm sorry, I'll have you read these 4. Sorry, I already read 2 of them, but read them again.
I really think, I strongly believe, I truly feel, or in my honest opinion.
Good. Any questions on any of these? Okay.
No question.
All right. So, Kalinka, could you read this statement here that is in the highlights?
Oh, it's
Too small for you?
Too small?
yeah, too small for me.
Okay, no problem. I'll have someone else do it. It's okay.
But I can try. In my
Okay.
honest opinion, Bangkok has the best street food. I have never seen more choices of what to eat, and everything I've tried to has been delicious.
Delicious. Excellent. You did perfect on that. Okay. So those are definitely words that we can use when we're talking to our friends or our family about opinions. Sometimes we need to do things in more formal ways. Maybe it's through, with work or with an organization, something like that. So here are some options that we can use. Svetlana, will you read these, please?
From my point of view, from my perspective, in my view, or it seems to me that.
Okay. Any questions on these?
It seems to me, is it also formal?
Yes. I mean, you could use these also when speaking with friends and family, but these would be a little bit more formal ways of saying things.
Okay.
It's a good question. Yeah.
So, use it all the time. It seems to me.
Yeah, I do too, to be honest. And in my view, I've used that one quite a bit too, even when talking with friends and family. So I think they're definitely the formal ones that you want to use in business or in a conference or something, but they can be used anytime. Yeah. All right. And Svetlana, will you read this sentence?
In my view, cruise ships should be banned. They produce massive amounts of waste and use the dirtiest fuel in the world.
Dirtiest fuel in the world.
Fuel.
Good.
Fuel.
All right. And then we have also questions that we can ask when we want to know someone else's opinion. So Katya, will you read these 4?
Yeah, sure. What do you think of? What are your thoughts on? How do you feel about? What's your opinion on?
All right, excellent. And then these are some sample questions here. What's your opinion on Football Club Barcelona? How do you feel about the new art director? What are your thoughts on tonight's activities? Okay, and then this last part, agreeing and disagreeing. So these are ways that we can agree, to show agreement with someone. Marina, will you read these 5, please?
Yes, sure. So do I. Me too. Definitely. I agree. I could agree more.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more.
I couldn't agree more. So a simple question or a sentence would be, I completely agree. I couldn't live without beach days and outdoor festivals. All right. And Margot, will you read these disagree statements?
I disagree. I don't agree. Yeah, but.
Yeah, but. And yeah is definitely the more informal way of using this. We could more formal would say yes, but, or you could also say I agree, but. So it's kind of like an agreement and a disagreement at the same time. So there may be parts of a statement that someone has said that you agree with, and then there will be other parts that you disagree with. Or you can just agree that you're disagreeing as well with that statement. Okay. And I will send this document to you all as well here in just a moment. So sometimes at work, we also have to share opinions. And so when we need to disagree with people, and so these are some ways. So instead of saying, I totally disagree or you're wrong, these might be some of the things that we would say instead. And Kalinka, can you read those that I highlighted?
I'm not sure I agree with you on. I'm sorry, but I don't agree. Or I'm afraid I disagree.
Mm-hmm. And some other more polite ways of saying this, Svetlana, will you read these?
I see what you are saying, but you have a point there, but I understand where you are coming from, but.
Okay. Any questions on any of these?
We should go, huh?
Yes, I have a question concerning the last expression phrase. I understand where you're coming from. What does it mean?
So it's basically saying, I understand your ideas, or I understand what you're saying. So coming from can have a couple of different meanings. Coming from is like physically coming from your house or a business or a store or something, but it can also be the mental expression of ideas as well. So I agree with where you're coming from. I disagree with where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from. It can all be ways that we could say that, or ways that you might hear that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions on that? Okay, so the video that you all watched was about stereotypes and whether or not stereotypes can ever be good. So I am curious about your opinion on that. Margot, what was your opinion on the video and whether stereotypes can ever be good?
Actually, I believe that stereotypes, it's like frames, like limits of mind, maybe, if I say it right. So I can say when I saw that video, I thought about when I came, and the city where I grew up, stereotypes, it's like very strongly developed. And when I moved to Kiev, I realized the difference, and I thought about what toxic society I grew up. Actually, it's maybe a bad thing, but actually it's true. And I can tell from my maybe own example, one of examples. I thought about, we live in 20th century.
21st century.
And women have rights, and we all not like years ago. But when I when I was elected of head of student council, actually my university has had more boys than girls. That's why it's unofficially considered like a masculine university. And it will be a very challenge for me to be ahead of student council, because I'm a girl. A lot of teachers don't want me to be because I'm a girl, actually. And I thought about this. It's crazy, but it's like stereotype that girls can be head of the, be leader, or maybe be like director or someone. So
Mhm.
this is my opinion.
Okay,
I don't
excellent.
think, I think it's not good. Stereotypes can be good, maybe.
I agree. And just one thing I point out, you said about teachers don't want me to be, you would say teachers didn't want me to be,
Didn't.
want me to be. Mhm. So
Mhm.
teachers didn't want me to be.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes, thank you.
you're welcome. Okay. Marina, what did you think about the video? And what's your opinion on, let's do it this way. What is your opinion on the video that we watched?
Actually, I saw a video on the last minutes before the lesson, so I
Okay,
didn't have enough time to realize and clarify some words maybe. But in general, I would agree with Margot that stereotype it's not good thing usually, because stereotype is like label, you just put them on different things, and it's usually it's not true and not fair. And stereotypes could affect a lot of areas of our life. It could be about nations, about languages, about color of skin or shape of your eyes. I could say that there are a lot of stereotypes in our life if we think more detail, more precisely about this. And but for example, here in Scotland, people said that usually when you come to for foreign and you become foreigner, it's very hard to be such person, also because of stereotypes about foreigners or about your country or something. And in Scotland, a lot of people told me that there is no stereotype about about foreigners. So now in this country they treat people like equal.
Okay.
And I can say that it's in my experience it's true. just today I was talking by phone with lady from health department, and she don't understand. I don't know why, but do you know mycos? It's okay, it's medical term, and she cannot understand what is it. And but she she don't refuse. She just ask me repeat, and then she asked me to explain what is it. So she tried to understand me completely what I was trying to say her, and it's a really good thing.
Sometimes
maybe I came a bit detailed, but
no, that's fine. Sometimes was the person you were talking to, was she Scottish, from Scotland, or was she from somewhere else?
I'm not sure. Maybe Scottish, but it's very hard to understand native people. It's much better to understand somebody.
I love the Scottish accent,
even
the Scottish accent can be a little, the Scottish and the Irish accents, I love both of them, but they can be a little more difficult to understand sometimes. What I was going to say is that sometimes, people don't always understand what you're saying because you use a different word. and they would understand one word, but they may not understand another word. And that can cause communication problems, even among native speakers. That can happen sometimes.
But here they respect people and they try to understand everybody.
Yes, which is good, which is good. I wanted to point out that you said "in my experience," which is a great addition to our list of words or phrases to use for expressing your opinion, because it is your experience. You know, it's my opinion, but it's my experience, what I have, you know, seen and done around me. So that's another great addition to that. Yes. And then at the beginning, you said that you hadn't had a chance to realize what you wanted to say about the video. And I would just say maybe to form my opinion. I didn't have enough time to form my opinion.
To form my opinion. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I'll try and type it in. Time to form my, or to form my opinion, or an opinion. Either way. Good. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Katya.
Yes. I didn't watch the video, to be honest, because I missed this exercise, this assignment. But I have my own opinion concerning stereotypes. And I understand where the girls come from and their idea come from. And I just want to add that there is another type of stereotypes, which and it is called superstitious. They are called superstitious. It's a belief which is so strong in our mind that we tend to either obey doing something, or do whenever the situation happens. For example, in Ukraine, there is a superstitious that you shouldn't whistle when you are staying at home, because otherwise you won't have money.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yes, but here in London, London has broken this superstitious.
Right, superstition.
Yes, because the family of my sponsors, they are whistling all the time.
Ah, okay.
And they are very well-off people.
There you go. Very interesting. And that is a good point too about superstitions and stereotypes. When I lived in Morocco, one of the superstitions there is that if you drink anything cold, you're going to get sick. Or if you have any type of wind blowing on you, you will get sick. So like in taxis or on buses, they would never open the windows, because even though it's 50 degrees outside, you would still be in a taxi or on a bus with the windows open and no air conditioning, because they were afraid that they believed from years and years of this, the belief that will cause you to get sick. I just tried to go along with it. Sometimes when you're in a country, you have to just understand that is part of their culture, it's part of their way of life. And, but there were times when I was like, no, drinking something cold is not going to make me sick. Drinking something cold is going to help cool me off. But yeah, it was very interesting. And so I do agree that there are some superstitions that can also relate over to stereotypes, because people could look at that and think really bad things about a country or a culture or a person, because of the superstition that they believe. So yeah, thanks for pointing that out. I like that. Good.
And another thing I want to contribute into this topic is the idea that stereotypes could limit us from our personal internal growth.
Yes.
That's why
Absolutely.
it's better to look at the stereotypes we have,
Mhm.
and it's a good idea. It's better for us like to hesitate all the time. Is it true? Who said this?
Right. Yes. Who said it and why? Why did they say that? Look at the history of why something may have been said as well. Because there's usually a reason for it, but that reason no longer is valid. It doesn't mean anything anymore, potentially. Yeah. There was a video. Yes, I'm going to share my screen here just for a second. It's in the Telegram group. I had sent this video. It's about the danger of a single story. It also deals with this idea of, not having those stereotypes in place. So if you haven't had a chance to watch this, I would highly recommend watching this video. It's one of my favorites, favorite videos that are out there, and how the stories that we tell ourselves about other people can also prevent us from having open eyes or open minds and learning more about a culture as well. So yeah, I would recommend watching this one.
Yes, I'll do.
I watch it multiple times, like all the time. I'm watching it.
I will definitely watch it after the lesson.
Good.
I've already watched. I believe it seems to me that you already recommended, and I watched, but
Yes.
not to the end. It's like something interrupted me, but I'll watch again. It's very, very interesting.
It's a good one to rewatch a couple of times as well. She's also an author, and I've read several of her books, and they're very good as well. So if you're interested, you can look into those also. Okay.
Great. Thank you.
You're
you.
welcome. All right. Svetlana, what are your thoughts?
Yes. I saw both videos, and I agree that stereotypes are widespread in our life. And I'm thinking about I thought about it. And I reckon that we can break stereotypes by traveling.
Yes.
And in this way, you can find the new stereotypes, or you have known some stereotypes, but it's the best way because you can see another people, another culture. You can see how all of them communicate, and but I think that we often use it subconsciously, maybe. But if you met new people, read new books, and travel a lot, you can break it first of all for yourself.
I agree with that. A couple of things first before I comment on what you said. I believe you said you can see another, and I don't remember, I didn't write down what came after that, but it would be you can see other. I think it was like other cultures or other people, right? So we would say you can see other cultures, people, things. And then how they communicate. I don't remember what word you used, or if there was even a word there. It may have been a blank. So how they communicate. And maybe when we watch this back, we can fill in the blank there. And then you said can broke, but we would say break. We can break those stereotypes, and break those ideas of what we have.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, but you may gain another superstitious about never change seat number of seats on the plane.
This is true. And it's definitely
before my first flight.
Then return to the law of hesitation.
So I wanted to say, Svetlana, I agree with everything you said about, like traveling and reading books. And sometimes we can travel through the books that we read, or we can travel through movies that we watch, or documentaries, things like that. We do have to be careful with movies and TV shows because they are really bad about promoting those stereotypes, right? So if I'm watching a movie or a TV show or something and they bring up the stereotype, I might then go and look things up. I might research it a little bit more on my own and, you know, try to maybe find out like, where does that come from? How true is it? You know, is it something that, you know, we need to break in that sense? There are times that I think, very small times, but there are times when stereotypes, not necessarily, I would say, can be good, but they can help explain a culture, or they can, you know, help you to understand a culture. So one small one that comes to mind is the idea of Indians, you know, people in India, they're always bobbing their head, right? And you see it like in movies or, you know, on TV shows and things, and you're like, well, I wish they would stop doing that. Like that is such a horrible stereotype to talk about. Well, I've been to India a couple of times, and I have a couple of Indian friends, and I've asked them about it, and I like observed just in general observation, you know, and they do it. It is part of their culture. So it's not necessarily a stereotype. It can be considered a stereotype if we are discussing it in a very bad way, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad stereotype. It is just part of who they are, right? And so, you know, when you see it in a movie, maybe it's exaggerated a little bit more in the movie and they're like really moving the head around. Katya, you did it really good a second ago. I can't move my head that way today for some reason, but yeah, it may not be like that. It's definitely, it's like the bobblehead, you know, it's kind of like this. But it's not a bad thing. It's just part of who they are as a culture, and understanding that going in, then that helps you understand their culture a little bit more as well, right? So I think that there can be times when, you know, not necessarily the things that stereotypes are good, but it helps us explain and understand a culture better. Okay.
Yes.
I
have something to add because it's quite interesting and very like gripping topic for me. There is the worst stereotype from my own experience, and it is about the women's shape and body.
Yes.
This stereotype has influenced on so many women that they start suffering from it, and they started like making bad things to their body,
doing bad things,
and it caused a lot of psychological diseases.
Yes.
So it worked like a propaganda. And only when the war started, actually, I understood the this dramatic, significant impact on me and a society I lived in.
Yeah, same for me. I grew up being called fat pretty much all my life by, you know, family, by teachers, you know, and everything as well. And it has definitely been something that has affected my self-image and my self-confidence in a lot of ways, especially like in relationships and things. And yeah, so I completely agree with that. You know, this idea that women should only be, you know, very, very thin, and or have like the curvy body, right? You know, the big boobs, the big butt, you know, whatever, the skinny waist, you know, all of those kinds of things. It's very harmful. Yes, very harmful. And you're right. A lot of people have done some very horrible things to themselves in order to try to obtain that shape, which for most people is not possible because that's not the way our bodies are made. It doesn't matter how much you starve yourself or how much you exercise or whatever, you're still not going to obtain the same shape because your body just isn't made that way. So, yeah, you're right.
Genius.
I'm sorry?
Genius? I mean,
genes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Just in the last 10 minutes, we're going to switch gears again, and we're going to talk about modal verbs. Just real quickly, I'm going to share my screen. We're going to look at some different modal verbs, and then I'm going to send you the link to this because at the bottom of it is an exercise that you can do where you will choose the modal verb that goes in there. So it's just some extra practice for yourself with the grammar. I'm talking about this. So Marina, will you read this about the ability?
Ability. She can speak 6 languages. They couldn't dance very well.
So with modal verbs, they can be both positives and negatives. So, you know, she can do something, or she can't, or they can dance very well, or they couldn't dance very well. All right, Margot. Yes.
May I ask concerning abilities? I remember from grammar that there is another way to say ability, like to be able to. But I'm not sure that I still understand the difference between can and be able. I believe that there is something about physical possibility and ability, but I'm not sure. Could you like just,
So I am not a grammar expert, so I will look it up here in just one second, but I will say that you can replace be able to in both of these cases. So you could say she is able to speak 6 languages. They are not able to dance very well. So you can actually replace able to and can and can't and couldn't or could with be able or not be able to.
with no difference in meaning, or
I don't think so.
Can I explain in Russian as I understand this? Because I can't explain any. Можешь и в состоянии. Вот be able is в состоянии это сделать, а can просто можешь.
No, then it's about physical ability.
Yeah,
like you are able, you are not disabled, and that's why you can do this.
let's see if this will open up for me.
For me, can is more general, but be able, it's it's about physical.
Can, could, and be able.
It's still, yeah, this also, it doesn't state that it has to be a physical ability, because this is reading and writing, which is mental, not physical. So I think, oh, that's the can and could, sorry, I was looking at ability. They're not, let's see, the negative forms.
It was mentioned that it's more informal way, more formal way to communicate instead can instead of.
I think to me it is both, because I can say I can speak 6 languages and I am able to speak 6 languages. They're interchangeable to me. I don't think that the ability has to be the physical ability to do something. But I will continue to research, and if I find something different to that, then I will let you know. I'm gonna make myself a note here. Able to physical. Okay, I'll make myself a note and send that out. Okay. All right, Margot, will you read this about permission?
Can I go to the concert? Yes, you can. Could I leave early tonight? No, you couldn't. You may use your mobiles now.
So this is asking or giving permission to someone to do something. So can I, could I, may I, or you may, you can do things. All right, Katya, the prohibition.
You can't eat in the class. You mustn't smoke in this building.
So prohibition is all about the things that you cannot do. You know, you are not allowed to do these things. All right, and Svetlana, obligation.
Obligation. We must recycle to save the planet. We have to do homework until Tuesday.
Thursday. So obligations are the things that we have to do. I know that's one of the words that we use it here, but that's the way I like to say it, is obligation is we have to do these things. There's no choice. It has to be done.
I have a question again.
Yes.
I have a lot of questions all the time. Is there any difference between must and have to in the meaning?
Sometimes I think you could replace must with should. We should recycle to save the planet. But you couldn't put should in place of have to. So like you couldn't say you should do homework until Thursday.
Can I add
You can say you
something?
should
I've
do
already asked these questions to another situation. Must, it's when you just need to follow the rules. But have to,
yes.
when you realize by yourself that you need to do this. So you have to, you like, it's your obligation, and you realize this. It's not rule. It's.
But you see, in this sentence, you have to do. It's like somebody is telling me that I must do homework until Thursday. It means that it doesn't work in this way, in this particular case.
Yeah, I think it is. It's a little more awkward to say you should, but you could change this sentence to be like, I should do homework until Thursday, or I must do homework. So yeah, in that case, the must and the should. I like the way that Marina explained that. That was perfect explanation. That must is something that like to follow the rules of that are in place, whereas should is our own personal obligation of doing something, the way we feel that we should do something. I like that. That's good. Like I said, I am not a grammar expert. Grammar always trips me up. So sometimes I constantly have to look up the rules and things as well. But I will do my best to help you all and look things up whenever I need to. But it's great that you all also can help each other with that. Okay. So the no obligation is the opposite of an obligation. So you don't have to wear uniforms in school. He doesn't have to wash the dishes. I've already done it. So in this case, in both of those cases, you don't have to wear uniforms, means that you can if you want to, but you don't have to, right? But he doesn't have to wash the dishes. I've already done it. That means he doesn't have to wash the dishes. There's no obligation to wash the dishes that is there. All right, and then the last one, giving advice, Svetlana.
Giving advice, you must see a doctor. You shouldn't eat so much chocolate.
True. Okay. Any questions on these? Any other questions?
No.
No.
Okay, so again, I will.
Sorry. For me, must is it's too strong for advice.
Well, it depends. If someone is very, very sick, you can say you must see a doctor. Or if it's just a casual conversation, you can, must. I would agree. Must would be too strong for that. But there can be cases where.
Depends on situation. Okay.
Yeah, depends on the situation. Yes.
I would substitute in this case. It's better for you to see a doctor because you are
too polite.
Yes, that's a very polite way of saying it. Yes. Very good. All right. So again, I will share this link in the Telegram group, and you all can to do the exercise at the bottom. If you want to send me your results, you can, but you don't have to. This is just more for your practice. And if you continue to scroll on down at the bottom of that, you'll find either other links that you can do more practicing on modal verbs. So that was, just to do in your own time for practice. Okay.
Okay.
All right. That is all for today. Again, I will send a reminder out about the homework, but it's about planning the itinerary for your trip. And then that will be for Monday, and I will send the recording to you this afternoon whenever or my afternoon, later evening for you. And I think I've already sent the other links to you guys. So I think that's all for now. Does anyone have any final questions or comments on anything today?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Just appreciation.
Absolutely. I appreciate you reminding me that I need to make more corrections as well, because I tend to just get involved in the conversation and don't think about it. So I will do a better job of that.
It's a good sign for us.
Yes, I understand. It is good for you. That's the whole point of doing this. All right. You all have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday afternoon. Okay.
Thank you.
All
The
right.
same
Thank
for
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.